Eagle on a Sunday, ignoring the Catholics. Rebel rap with a spine-plated metal back.
Hi, Monique.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. I got the time zones all mixed up.
I know, because when you said that, I'm like, oh, God, let me see what time it is. Yeah, we're on a different time zone.
You tell us the name you'd like for us to refer to you by?
Well, my name is Carolyn Bailey, but people refer to me as Monique's Healing Room or Monique.
Monique. Okay, you got it. Monique.
Oh, I'm happy that you asked me on. I really am. I appreciate it. I think I found my way at life at the age of 3.
3?
Yeah. I was sitting back, and it's so ironic that you asked me that, because I was sitting back last night around midnight, and actually I've been up since around midnight, but I was sitting back thinking about, like, man, how did all this happen? But, I've been a healer at the age of 3 because Mom had me at the age of 17, senior in high school, and my dad was about, 19, 20, something like that. So I was like born to two young black adults who really didn't, I'm just going to be honest with you, who didn't know anything because my mom used to leave me at the age of 3 at home alone because she didn't have a babysitter at the time. So I remember at the age of 3 and 4, I was at the stove, I would push a chair up, and I would cook me some grits. Yeah, at the age of 3 and 4, yeah. I would cook me some grits, and I would always make me some honey and warm milk. And I remember sitting there eating this as a little bitty girl. And it was in 1971, so I was born in 66. So, and I remember me going in the bathroom, taking care of my face. And I would always try to put eggs on my face at the age of 3 and 4. And as the egg got tightened, I remember I liked it. And then it just went on through the years. Yeah. And then it went on through the years. And I remember when I was at the age of about 8, my dad had a job where these boots used to always hurt his feet. And I remember going to get my dad some alcohol, and I would give him a pedicure, and I would work on his feet, and I would give him a facial and a manicure and a pedicure at this age. And, and it just went on and on and on. I mean, I was baking chicken at the age of 8 and 9. And the reason why I remember these ages is because me and my siblings are like, I have a brother who passed, but I was the firstborn. And before he was born, which I'm 9 years older than him, I was baking chicken already, and he wasn't even born.
Oh, my goodness. You got more sense than I have.
Right? But, it just made me who I am now, but I didn't know at the time. Of course, I wouldn't have known what all this was leading up to. And it just made me who I am now. And mind you, my parents didn't know anything about herbalism or anything like that. And I remember when I got the chicken pox, I cut my own potatoes up, put them around my neck. I was just healing my own body because I had young parents and they were just, working, trying to make a living. So I was healing my own self.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did.
What about like spiritually? Because I do notice that you have a spiritual component to your healing practice.
You know what? Spiritually, I just, my purpose is just not to die dead. And I'm just, I'm not, how can I put this? I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual being.
Right.
Did I get that right for you? I'm just a spiritual being. I'm just person who just wants to heal my body naturally and spiritually, and I think I do it very well. I always try things on myself first.
Yeah, I think most of us are coming from that place right now. I notice like most of us, even if we do get involved with a traditional practice, we mix them up. You know what I mean? We're not necessarily a part of the organization. I think most of us just want that spirituality, right? We don't necessarily want this whole religious thing anymore. And that almost everybody I talk to is coming from that same place, that same place.
That's exactly where I am right now. It's kind of difficult. That part of my life is kind of difficult right now, being married to a man who likes to go to church every Sunday.
Oh,
but see, here's my. But the good thing about it is my husband listens to me. You know, now he listens to that, but he listens to me, and we're on the same level, but we're not on the same level. You know, so that's a work in progress. But I don't get out of it what he gets out of it. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that a lot too. Like the couples they're not in the same. Even when I was going to Sarah said one partner would be there and the other partner just did something else, or one partner into it deeply, and the other person they just showed up every once in a while. So I used to think you both in the same exact thing, but I don't think most couples are like that anymore. You know, I don't think that they try to be in the same religion, and they work it out some kind of way. You know, so. Yeah,
I mean, and then you have to have that type of, you know, me and my husband, you know, if I say I'm not going with you today, he's like, okay. You know, it's like no big deal. And he's very open-minded, and I just think that right now he's stuck in a situation where, what are they going to say if I don't go anymore?
So it's more social. It's more social than about the religion itself.
I think so for him. For me, it's more social.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know.
Could you tell us? Go ahead, Risha. I don't want to dominate it.
No, you're fine. I mean, I don't want to harp on it because I know that's not, you know, people. It's none of my business, but I'm just very curious as to how. I mean, is it almost like, do you feel like you're waiting for him to kind of grow into an understanding, or does he already understand and he's just, like you said, going because he wants to keep appearances, and, you know, you don't really care, so you're just kind of, is it ever like a struggle?
No, you know what? It's never a struggle, and I think it's everything that you just said. You know, I think that it's everything that I think it's everything that you have just said, because I struggle with it a lot, but I try to be humble as a wife, but I don't back down when I hear something I don't think is right. He knows that I will speak it.
Right.
So I definitely don't back down, and he knows that, and that's the part I think that makes our marriage so strong, is because I'm not the type of wife or the type of person that says what people just want to hear. If I feel that it's not right, I speak on it right then. So that we can, you know, even with my clients, you know, a lot of them want me to say, oh, you're not that overweight. Oh, you don't have arthritis. You know, but I just can't do that. I have to, because I think that's the part of healing also, whether it's spiritual, it's church, it's religion, it's health, it's eating, it's whatever. I just say what needs to be said and not what people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why a lot of people tend to like me. And I have some people who have been watching me for a year and 2 years, 3 years, and they're just now coming out saying, you know, I've been watching you for a while.
Right.
You know, because I feel like when we go to the psychiatrist, if that's what we need, which we really don't need that. But if we go to a doctor's office or anything, they lie to us so much. You know, whenever you're going into the doctor's office, you're going to be lied to. Trust me. It's just going to be a lie. So I don't want to do that. I just feel like we've been lied to enough about everything.
Right.
So I'm not going to lie to someone and tell them, hey, you're not overweight. No, you are overweight. And I always tell people, yes, you are overweight. And if you don't get the weight off you will die. Simple.
Right. I do believe that the current system needs a lot of work. I do feel like if you need to see a psychiatrist, it should probably be someone who believes the way you believe, who practices the way you practice, who can understand your point of view, and who's going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Because the last thing our people need is another person pacifying them and making them feel like everything is okay and that they don't have to change when they do have to make severe changes in their lives. So I can appreciate you.
And you know, because
Hello?
you know what? Hello, I'm here. Because
okay.
you know what? Pharmaceutical drugs are not going to do what you just said.
Right.
But every time we're sick or anything that's going on with us, they want to give us pharmaceutical drugs. So, you know, I know that the body just don't, it's not going to take to anything synthetic and pharmaceutical. It's just not. We're not made for that. Our bodies are not made up for that, especially black bodies. We have too much melanin in our bodies, and it can heal ourselves. You know, the body can heal itself with the right food, just seeds and oils. And if the oil comes from a seed, it can do what it needs to do. But, you know, it's just we got to get it out here more for people to understand it.
What do you think the number one issue, maybe not even number one, but like the top 5 issues affecting black women's health right now, mental, physical, and spiritual, but really physical because I know that's you deal a lot with the foods that we eat. So what's something we can do, the top 5 things we need to stop doing and start doing to get back into healing and balance of our wombs and our bodies?
I think the things that we should start doing, us as black women, we need to learn how to cook. We need to learn how to read better, and we need to learn how to get a more understanding. And we must learn that if we don't understand something, we need to ask someone who is better with it than ourselves. And we cannot read something like recipes. We got to get back into recipes. We got to get back into cooking. We need to stop doing the fast food. That's the number one killer. And you know, it's not so much as the fast food; it's how it's being prepared. And I find a lot of women who, when they come to me and they're sick, and I always ask, "Tell me what you ate yesterday. Tell me what you ate yesterday." And we've got to also stop lying to ourselves. If you're a bad eater, then you're just a bad eater.
Right.
And those are the things that I think that we should, we should stop doing. And we got to also take control of our kitchens and stop allowing our kitchens just to be a place to sit down and eat and get full. It's not about being full. It's do you have the right nutrients in your kitchen to save your family?
Right.
And a lot of us, we just don't have it. I've looked in so many cabinets, so many fridges, and I see everything white. And we must understand that everything white turns to sugar. Sugar turns to mucus. Then you're acidic, and then you die. Period.
Right.
And I hope I'm answering your questions the way that the best way that I can. But
yeah,
those are some of the things that I think that we should stop doing. And I think that the things that we should also start doing is, how can I put this? Learn money management. That's so important, what I see. A lot of black women that I know are on public assistance. So we don't know how to manage our money. And when you constantly buy meat, your bill gets higher and you're killing yourself. But if we could just learn to take our link cards, our public, whatever we're getting, and you can make it work and you can live off a plant-based diet. You'll be full, you'll be healthy, your kids will be healthy, but we don't understand that.
When you said, I'm sorry, go ahead. Before you had said something about seeds, SEEDS, that's what you said?
Yeah.
That's what we need. So did you mean plant-based diet or did you mean actual seeds, plant-based diet?
You know, plant-based diet and seeds, like, you know, cucumber seeds, apple seeds, lemon seeds, you know.
Oh, seeds.
Okay. Yeah, all of those things come from seeds. Perfield plants, lavender plants, all of these things, you know, just seeds. They can help us. You know, we have to learn how to also plant. Even in the wintertime, you can have a garden in your dining room.
That's right.
Yeah. I just started. I'm going through the winter, my first winter, and it's so rewarding to make myself a little salad. What I grew, it makes me feel so good, and I don't have to worry about GMO and all this other stuff.
Yes.
It's just really thing.
Yes, you feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, you feel safe. Exactly.
I had another question I want you to ask. It'll come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah, you were talking about going into the people's. You can come, but I'm on the radio. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm on the broadcast. All right, thank you. Yeah, I apologize for that. Yeah, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say about food and about weight? It'll come back to me. Y'all go ahead.
Listening how she goes into people's fridges.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I would not let her into my fridge because I don't want her to put in there. And what I ate yesterday was not good. It was really not good. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say one of the problems that I'm having, I go from craving to craving to craving to craving. And I wonder if a lot of people don't do that. I learned at one point when you overdo the salt, then your body kicks out too much salt. Now you're craving salt. When you overdo the sugar, your body kicks out too much sugar.
Exactly.
And I find going to craving.
Well, the thing about that is when your body, when you do that, your body is telling you that, hey, I'm trying to release these toxins, but I cannot release the toxins because you're not giving me the nutrition. So when you crave sugar, when you crave a lot of sugar and salt and cookies and things like that, your body is searching through your blood for nutrients that you're not giving it. So anytime that you feel like, man, I want some Oreo cookies, I just got to have this piece of chocolate cake. And you really got to have it because food is an addiction.
Yeah.
So you find yourself searching everywhere. I mean, you will go up 2 blocks away, out of your way. You may have a meeting, but you got to stop at this gas station and get the darn cookies because it's an addiction. You know, it is. It's an addiction. And I tell people all the time that food is worse than any cocaine and heroin drug, street drug out here. Why? Because food is free. Food is free. Look, I can go to anybody's house. If I walked in one of your doors right now and you all had a chocolate cake on the table, I know you're not going to charge me for it. You're going to say, girl, get you a piece of that cake, get you a piece of this pie. And so food is free.
Yeah.
And we don't even have to steal for that habit. We don't have to rob and steal for that habit. You can go in a garbage can and eat free food. So this is the problem. It's an addiction. And you know you're addicted. You know you're addicted when you keep craving for the salt. You know, you just gotta have potato chips.
Yeah. Yep.
You just gotta have something salty. You just gotta have something sweet. Your body is saying to you, please give me nutrients. But when your body does that, if you would go and get a nice green kale smoothie, all of the cravings will go away immediately. Immediately. So the more green you eat, your body becomes allergic to sugar and salt, which that's what you want.
It's the truth. It is the honest to God. I'm going to tell you something about my background. I was debating on whether to say it because I'm changed, right? I used to go to this place called Sarah said, I say about, for 20 years I went there. It's a vegan society. It's ancient black Kemet, but it's a vegan society. Before everybody got into vegetarianism, they were doing it. So I was supposed to be vegan back then. No white flour, white rice. You know, this was their diet.
Yeah.
So I tried to do it, and I could not seem to stay on it, nothing. And what would happen was, like I said, craving to craving to craving. And the first thing I did wrong is I ate a bad vegan diet. I didn't know how to eat properly. So my mother taught me to eat a meat, eat a starch, eat a vegetable. And then you go ahead and I went into the vegan store, the health food store, and I went and tried to imitate that. So then I ate the fake meat, the fake this, the fake that. That stuff did not agree with me. I loved it, but I couldn't take the soy and whatever's in it to make it taste like meat, it doesn't agree with my system. I can't digest it. So now I'm feeling worse than I was before. Then on top of that, they had tons of tofu. So the people who were there before I got there, they said, you know, when we were vegetarians, before they had all this stuff in the health store, we used to eat clean. We were beans, sprouts, vegetables. That's what we ate, you know, and you know, little something else every once in a while. But everyone was eating this tofu and bloated up. Everybody was eating the fake meat. And then I would fast every season because that's what they did. And for a few days, I was good. I felt good. You know, I didn't have any cravings. It just zeroed out all the cravings. And then I would start eating the fake meats and stuff again. And then, you know, I was bad all over again. I'm like, I'm supposed to be eating healthy, but what's wrong? What is wrong? So I gave up on it because I could not get it right. But I look at today's people, and they're eating a plate full of vegetables, quinoa and different things like that. I'm like, that's what I should have been doing the whole time.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, even myself, I tell people all the time, like I told this morning on Facebook, that I am them. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is people ask me all the time, oh, let me see your fridge. I know you don't do this, and I know you don't do that. I want to be like you, but I am them. I am just the average black woman out here. I try 90% of my life to eat correctly, but do I fall and slip sometimes? Yes, I do. Because, you know, because I tell people the truth because I want them to know that, you know, we're only human. So did I have a little peach cobbler on, you know, a few weeks ago? Yeah, I did. You know what I mean? Did it make me sick? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yeah, because I had white flour and I had white sugar. And you know, the problem with that was I had stopped a lot of green veggies and juices and things. So when you stop it, now your body is asking for the sugar again. So it's like once you start this way of life, people ask me all the time, is this going to be forever? Yes. Yes, because if you stop the green way of life and then you go back to the white way of life, now you're all black. You're just all messed up on the inside. So you have to make sure that this is what you want to do because you really can mess yourself up worse than you were in the beginning.
Wow.
You know if you're going vegan, if you're going to be vegan, let's just say if you've been vegan for 3 years. And all of a sudden you get to the family barbecue on the 4th of July, you got this old auntie who's in everybody's family who just want to push this, who want to just push this meat down your throat.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, I got one in my family, and you go ahead and take just a little piece. Trust me, if you don't die within the next, 72 hours, no, literally, you can die. If you don't die from the poison that it has put back in your body because it would not digest, then you would be so sick that you would think that you have left and you have came back.
I tell you.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I wonder if that's what happened to Dr. Sabi. Because,
of course. Yeah, that's exactly what happened because, of course, we all know that he ate very well. He had his own nutrients. He had his own vitamins, which was food mostly, and plant-based this and plant-based that. And when he went so long and he could not get it, his body started going, and then on top of that, he probably didn't eat as long as he could possibly go. And when he did when he drank the first water that they gave him, just the water right there just put him in a place that he probably, I know he did not want to be. Just the water alone just messed his cells all up. And sometimes it's like no coming back from it. So I always tell people, be careful. Do you want to be vegan or you don't want to be vegan? Do you want to be vegetarian or you don't? Because once you start it, your body becomes allergic to anything that had a heart, all processed food, anything that had a mother, anything that had blood. I try to break it down so everybody can understand. So if you're eating something that once had a heart or something that could have sex and create babies, and you haven't eaten it in many years and you start back, you can die. Simple. Even chicken soup. Let's just say if you're a vegan and you've been a vegan for 3 years and you say, oh, I want some chicken noodle soup. And you go and eat that, even if you just take people think, I'm just going to take the little meat out. You're still getting chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
So, that right there can send you your body into a state of shock. So, we have to be careful. Just, do you want to do this or you don't? Because it's no joke becoming a vegan. You can't do 80% of the day vegan and 20% I'm going to eat pork chop. It just doesn't work.
Oh, boy. Risha, what was you going to say?
I was just going to say that happened to me. When I first, I came home from military training 4 years ago. And when I got home, me and my husband, we were on a totally plant-based diet. And we kept it up for a long time. And still do to an extent. We're not as strict as we used to be, but I definitely want to get back to doing the right thing by my body, especially for my daughter's sake. Because I was at my mom's house one day, and my mother she made a pot of beans, and I think she seasoned the beans with turkey meat. And I gave the beans to my daughter, and afterwards she was vomiting, and she was her body was it was like it was going haywire. She had cold symptoms, a lot of snot and mucus and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And the guilt I felt so guilty because I'm like, I should have known better. I should have checked. I should have been more thorough. I should have done my due diligence because her system is one of those systems that hasn't been, stressed with all of that, all the processed food. We don't do fruit snacks. We don't do macaroni and cheese. We don't do
No.
You know what I mean? Like the quick fixes that a lot of people give to the babies because I don't want her to have that in her system. She doesn't get sick. She's been sick. She's going on 3 years old. She's been sick 3 times in her life. So it's like, and it all came from eating jacked up food.
Right, and you know what? We have to be careful with the school lunches as well. My son, for 3 years in a row, I think 2011, 12, and 13, he was hospitalized for pneumonia. Every year, and get this, every year the month of November. Every year for 3 years, the month of November. So I had to research some things. I said, okay, why is my son every year for the last 3 years in the same month he's getting sick? Now during the summer he wasn't sick. It was because of the school lunches. So I went even further. I went to the school I got the ingredients. I was asking all these questions, and I researched every ingredient that they had, every piece of food, everything that they had. And once I stopped my son from eating anything from the school, he can't even drink the water. He knows you do not touch the water. You don't eat anything from school, from your teachers, anything. You only eat what I give you in this backpack. When I started that, he has not been sick. The doctors was giving him albuterol. Now his albuterol is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like my brain is my son's albuterol. He hasn't been sick or anything. And I'm glad that you said that, because I also allowed my son about 2 weeks ago to have, what did he have? Someone offered him something that had chicken in it, and another kid had it. So me knowing that I shouldn't have done it, and I felt really bad, like you said, you just felt bad. I allowed him to have it. He took the chicken out, and I kid you not, about 4 days later, he had so much mucus in his lungs. He was so congested. And I said, okay, never again. But, you know, we learn. And this just lets us know that the things that we're thinking about meat and processed foods, it's true. It is true. Because that was my test right there. I just hate that my son had to be the test, because he was starting to get sick. So I just started my regimens and pumping this stuff out of him, and now he's fine.
Right.
But even, you know, they said that my son was also born with autism. And I saw little things. And I started working on my son. Now, my son he doesn't have them issues anymore, because I changed his food. Oh, he works out, he lifts weights, he jogs in place. He has his chlorophyll every morning. He has his dandelion tea. He does his hibiscus, hawthorn berries, his elderberry. He does all of that, and he loves it. And he knows how to make certain regimens. So, and that's another thing. We have to teach our kids that also. We have to teach them how to heal their bodies. And I did a little video yesterday of my son talking about the number 40 red and what it does to your body. So he knows. And kids, they are sponges. So they are going to absorb all of our knowledge. And this is why I teach them. And now, for a 12-year-old who they say has autism, he researches the number 40 red. He researches he researches everything. He knows, do not touch certain cereal. He knows. He knows. And some kids, he gets on their nerves at school because he's telling them at the lunch table, you shouldn't eat that. You know why? So, it has gotten to the point, it's so serious that, like, when they take the kids out on a field trip, his teacher will send me a text message and say, is it okay if we give him this? Is it okay if he has Hawaiian punch? Hell no, don't give my son Hawaiian punch.
That's right.
You know, they even ask, now they try to be funny. Well, can he drink water? No. No.
I'm going to tell you, I give her tea, right? And I make sorrel tea all the time. And she calls it tea water. She be like, Mommy, you want tea water? And so she's always hyped for the tea. And when we go out, like family functions, which we don't do often, but when we have, it'll be like the children drinking, like they'll be drinking soda, Pepsis, orange soda, grape soda, Capri Suns, everything, and they'll offer it to her, and I'm like, no, she's not drinking that. She's gonna get some water,
But she's on the right track. So she's just a baby now, but as she gets older, she's gonna start, like my son, we go out someplace and people offer him all this garbage, and he'll look at me. Now, trust and believe, he wants it. Even he wants it because he's a kid, but they'll offer and he'll look over at me, and I just turn my head. So when I turn my head, he knows that means no. I don't even. They offer it. He looks at me, and I turn my head. He knows that means no. And we could be someplace. I could be sitting like two sheets ahead of him, and he'll text me and say, you know, I'm very upset with you, right? You know, and he does, and because he's still a kid, and I'll text him right back and say, and you know that would kill you, right? And that'd be the end of the conversation. But you know, he knows, and our kids, it's so easy to have kids to transition over to that lifestyle. It's so easy.
Right.
Yeah. People ask me all the time. I got a 2-year-old, and if I don't give her a Capri Sun, she will just scream. This is what I'm trying to get us black women to understand. You can make something that tastes and looks just like Capri Sun. Kids go off of color and taste. So if they want a Capri Sun, it's red. It's so simple. You get you some strawberries, some blueberries, some grapes. You put a little agave in it, some spring water, and that's their Capri Sun. Period.
Makes sense.
It's just,
I'm glad we had this conversation because, first of all, I was considering returning to veganism again. So now I know the little half-ass thing I was thinking about doing where I was going to eat mostly good at home, and then every once in a while, if I wanted something else, I would get it. I know that's not going to cut it. And second of all, because I remember Sarah said all the parents, they always had that grandparent. They wanted to felt that their child was being deprived because they wasn't getting meat.
Oh,
and when the parents back turned, as soon as the parents' back was turned, then the grandparents or the aunts and uncles would slip them that McDonald's or whatever have you. And it's like, it's bad because I'm thinking to myself, you just had a child who has a pure, clean system. You make a business that their system is clean and pure, and now the person's going to give them this meat, which a lot of that stuff I feel is addictive. So now on top of that, now I know that it could really, really hurt the child on top of that. And I think vegan parents need to know that and to work double hard on training the children to say no, no matter what. Because when your back is turned, this is what's happening. The parents used to complain about it all the time.
Exactly. And, that's my biggest fight right now because, as you all may know, my dad is in stage 4 lung cancer. So his cancer has spread it to his liver and possibly his kidneys. So right now, my dad wants to feed my son Oreos, Cheetos, milk, butter, cheese. And even though I know that it's going to hurt my dad by me telling him no, this is something that I still must do.
Right.
And I had the conversation with my father, even though he's in stage 4, but I had a conversation with him, and I was very firm and a little bit aggressive maybe, but my word to my dad was, I told you no. Do not give him that. Grandparents, like my dad, he says things to my son like this. Yeah, your mama got you all skinny. Look at you. You're all skinny. So I train my son to understand that you're not skinny. You're just healthy. You're a healthy growing boy. You're getting taller. So, the fight is also like you saying with our parents, the grandparents. I mean, they will just, my father has brought cases of Coca-Cola. Who the hell is going to drink that?
Right.
Who's going to drink it? He's brought grape pop, crushed red sodas, and I kid you not, when he was able to come over a lot, I would take it straight to the alley. Seriously, I would just take it to the alley. And, my husband used to say, oh, I can take it to the guys at work. Why would I want you to give it to them when I feel that it's not good, period? It's going to the garbage.
Right.
So I'm just, I don't know. I think I'm just big on eating right and eating healthy as much as we can. Like I said, I know we're all human and sometimes we make mistakes, but it shouldn't be an ongoing mistake from 9 to 5 through the day.
Yeah. I don't know what with grandparents because I have my nephew, he had dark on the back of his neck, and the doctor said that means that he's going to be in danger of juvenile diabetes. So my brother, wife, explained that to my grandma-in-law, whatever you call them, the mother-in-law. And do you know they still, when they're around him, he blows up huge.
Yeah.
Because they're feeding them. And then when they go away and he's back around his parents, then he slims down because he loves to run and play. It's just that they're giving all this junk. And I don't know what it is with grandparents. I guess they feel like they're given a treat. But, I mean, they blow this boy up like crazy, and they told him about the diabetes. And they still doing it.
It's I think with grandparents, it's guilt. They feel like, they feel like, well, this is my grandbaby, so if he wants to eat, his happy time is with me. You discipline at home, but happy time is with grandma. I mean, my granddaughter she'll be 7, and she's beginning to understand, like, she'll ask me for something. She'll come in with a Dunkin' Donuts, and she'll look at me and say, I know what you're going to say. It's going to kill me, but Mommy bought it.
Wow.
So, and then immediately I'll turn around and look at my daughter, and I'll say, why are you giving her this? Didn't I tell you about Dunkin' Donuts? What part don't you understand?
Yeah.
So it's even hard with my daughter because my daughter she'll be 32, and to me that's still a young woman. And trust me, it's hard. It's hard with her because she doesn't, she always says, I'm going to make sure I keep a job and stay on my feet because I cannot live here anymore. Because it's nothing here. It's, I don't have all that. I don't have a bunch of cookies and a bunch of chips. And my son's fruit snack is strawberries in the oven, and I bake them for about 3 hours. Those are his fruit snacks. So if it's anything other than that, he can't have it.
That's beautiful, Lo. That's love to bake those things like that. That is
love. I mean, and this is where I'm trying to get a lot of black women to understand that if you write down all the snacks that your child likes. Okay, he likes chips. Okay, what about kale chips? You can make them however you want them. Give them kale chips, but it's what I found out also about a lot of women. Period. It's a time thing. Everybody's in a rush.
Yeah.
So if they can go and buy a bag of Cheetos, then why take all this time to bake kale chips?
Right.
Why bake? But I also try to, like, sometimes when I have seminars, I try to explain to them that this is something that you make time for, just like you making time to put your weave in your hair, get your eyelashes done, get your eyebrows done. You making time to go and stand in. You making time to go stand in line to get all them Jordan gym shoes, right? Okay. So make time in the week to say, I'm going to do all the healthy snacks. I'm going to do all my meals. Cook your meals for the entire week. And then that way, it's always food in the house. It's always plant-based food. It's always good food. Even make all your teas. You can make the tea hot or cold. Put it in the fridge. And when they have a cold, give it to them hot. When they just want to drink, put some agave in it. Now it's sweet. Mm-hmm. And it's really, it's time consuming, but if you just take one day out to do that, you're set for the whole week. But, we can take time out for everything else, but we can't take, and we won't take time out to heal our bodies and heal our children's bodies. And then we want to rush them to the doctor, and you want to ask the doctor, I've been coming to you for a year. She's still congested. She's still congested, or he's still congested due to you.
Right.
And we have to change all of that. And sometimes we don't like listening either. You wouldn't believe the people that I have had to get upset with me when I tell them your child is overweight. He's congested because you gave him the Cheetos. He's congested because you gave him the cheese pizza last night. He's congested because of you. Right. So I get people to get upset with me, but it's not about getting upset. It's about knowing how to accept constructive criticism. and I can't get people to understand that. But a lot of people are coming aboard. They're beginning to understand.
Yeah, I've never seen this vegetarians. I've never seen this many in my life. You know.
Oh yeah, but you know what else we have to be careful of? See, now that it's a lot of vegans and a lot of vegetarians, now some of our foods are becoming toxic.
Right.
The foods that the vegetarians eat, the foods that the vegans eat, because I truly believe in population control. I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So since a lot of us,
it comes straight from the
exactly. See, since a lot of us women, black women now, we don't want yeast infections. We don't want BV. We don't want this. We don't want to get all these things. We don't want to, and I hate to sound so, how can I put this? I just have to say things. I just have to say it how it is because this is everyday life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When women, let me say this, as a woman, when you sit on the toilet as a woman and you have not had a bowel movement, but the stench is so bad that you're running out the bathroom, it's something wrong. You know, you follow me? And sometimes I feel like everything is bowed inside of me because what I'm telling you, a lot of people don't want to hear. They're too church going, they're too holy, but this is everyday life. You know, I as a black woman, we shouldn't have a foul discharge.
Right.
You know, and a lot of it comes from the way we think also. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you can be a vegan. You can be a vegan and you could be doing everything right. But if you find that your vagina is sick, now it's coming from the brain. It's because you have absorbed so much negativity into the brain. Now it's damaging inside your body. So we have to also just learn to be humble. You know, just because you're eating right don't mean that your mind is thinking correctly. So we can't let a lot of negativity in the mind even if you're vegan. So when you're vegan or when you're vegetarian and you find that you still have a sick wound, now it's because of the mind. Because you're doing everything right, you know, putting everything inside your body correctly, but it's still something missing. And I always say to women, it's your mind, it's your mindset, it's what you're thinking, it's what you're doing on a daily basis. Because just your thoughts can make you sick.
Can you go into that? Because I tried to tell somebody that recently, like the reason why they have a lot of issues down there, even though they might eat right, is because of stress, negativity, negative thinking, emotions, hormones. Like negative thinking, it is not just a result of hormones being imbalanced. It also will cause your hormones to become imbalanced. And if you don't correct the balance, then you're going to have issues, you know, not just a foul-smelling discharge, but you'll also develop fibroids. You'll develop tumors. You'll develop a lot of, you'll start manifesting negativity in that way. And I think that the discharge odor is the beginning of that.
Yes.
You know, it's like a warning. It's a warning to you, like,
It is. It's telling you, check me out. Your body is saying, please check me out because you're doing something to me that I don't like. You're doing something to me that I don't like. Like, let's just say, and I'll give you an example. Let's just say, for instance, like I have a friend and she's vegan. She's been vegan for years, but she's always having certain issues. With her body and just things, and her breath is horrible. So it's not because of the food that she's eating, it's the things that she has allowed in her life. Dealing with a married man, dealing with, you know, all these things play effect because it's definitely not her foods now. So dealing with a married man, dealing with a business that you're trying to hold on to that's not bringing in any money, dealing with children that's very disrespectful, So I believe that if she could get rid of all of these things that mean her no harm, her body would start to flourish, because it's definitely not the food. But sometimes as mothers and grandparents and wives and girlfriends and fiancés, we always want to do what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. The right thing to do as a mother, now, the right thing to do is never to turn your back on your child, right? That's how we were raised, the right thing to do. But sometimes we can't always do what's right. We have to do what's for the best. So for the best is to turn your back on that disrespectful child so that you can live, to try to help this disrespectful child that's going to need you someday.
Right.
But, you know, we can't turn our back on a lot of things. Even we can have a job and we can be the boss of 50 people, and 48 of them people are giving us the worst headache in our life. And now I'm talking about vegans. But we're vegan. Now we got heart problems. But if you could leave that job, then all of those issues will go away.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and then that comes back also, I know someone also who's been a vegan for 15 years. She has arthritis. There's no way that a vegan should have arthritis, but she's dealing with a lot of things in her life that she shouldn't be dealing with. So now you're going to the doctor, and the doctor is telling her, well, you got to start back eating meat. That's your problem. It's your protein. You're not doing. So now she started back eating meat. Now she has had a stroke.
Oh, wow.
See, you know, we gotta, you know, I always tell people we have to understand the understanding. And it's just the point of getting rid of garbage in our lives. Just getting rid of the garbage, little by little. We can't do it all at once because some people just can't handle it. But even relatives, friends, coworkers, if they have no positive input in your life and they're bringing negativity all the time, and you're vegan, and you're a vegetarian, you know that everything you're putting in your body has nutritional value to your body, but you're still sick. Now you got to look at what's going on.
Yeah.
Mhm. I know for me, I notice a total difference in my body when I'm eating plant-based and when I'm not. And my whole life, since I was a little girl, I've had body odor in my armpit and in my vagina. And when I stopped eating meat and I stopped eating processed foods and drinking more water and eating fruit every day, and even eating fruit every day wasn't really correcting the problem, I had to eat more seeds and nuts, like you said, because those things, I started researching the endocrine system and how hormones are affected by food and what natural foods are. What's the word I'm looking for? They increase the amount of estrogen you have in your body, thereby bringing you into more balance with your into hormonal balance. And I know I read that a lot of like flax seeds and sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. All these things are good for women to consume so that they can get rid of a lot of those uncomfortable issues that affect our bodies, and even heal the actual physical manifestations of those things, like the fibroids, like we were talking about earlier.
And you know, it's just, and then I think also too, everything that you said is absolutely correct. And we also, you know, it's so important that if you are vegan, or if you are a vegetarian, you know that everything in your fridge is what you're supposed to be eating. So you can go in your fridge and you can get anything out of it, and it's going to be good nutrition, correct?
Yeah.
We cannot date or be married to someone who's bringing in a pork chop sandwich.
That's true.
See, you know, what happens is it just disrupts the entire house. Now, when I first met my husband, of course, I was vegan. And I saw that, you know, I started asking him questions like, what'd you have for lunch today? Oh, I ran over to McDonald's, had me 2 steak, whatever this mess is at McDonald's. What is it, 2 steak something? I don't know. Yeah, something. All I heard was steak. When I heard steak, I just couldn't even think anymore. So I couldn't even, and you know, it was just the thought of kissing me. And you know, and I told him, I said, look, I cannot kiss those lips if they touch pork. Lips that touch pork is not going to touch me. Now let's just get that straight. So now my husband, he feeds off of me. Whatever I eat, he eats. Whatever I want, he wants. Whatever I drink, he wants to drink. And I just, there's no way that I could have married him eating what, pig feet? Oh God, no. I mean, it just wasn't going to happen.
That we eat that stuff still. Like in 2016, there's a lot of white people who still will eat pig feet and hog maws and chitlins and stuff like that.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I don't want to eat nobody's foot. You know, I don't understand people. I don't care whose foot it is. I don't want to eat it, and I have a hard time getting people to understand that. So you're going to eat, and sometimes I have to get really down and dirty with people, and I say, so you just gonna eat that foot, huh? You just gonna eat all them veins and all that pus and all that blood, and you're actually gonna put that in your body? A foot? A ear? Oh, and the chitlin? It's just unbelievable. I don't understand why people are still eating it. You know, I can't wrap my mind around it. I just don't understand. And that's something I will never understand. But I do understand that they have to get to where I am.
Yeah.
You know, they have to get to where I am. And I don't know if they're gonna. I never thought I would get to where I am because I was raised on chitlins. I was raised on pork chops. I was raised on pot roast with potatoes on Sundays. And now, just thinking about it, I'm thinking, I'm surprised I'm not dead. You know, because I'm telling you, literally, my mother, all the things that she gave me, we used to have a fried chicken with spaghetti. Now, fried fish with spaghetti. And I know that starch and protein don't digest well together. It never will. Not that type of protein. But, you know, I learn something new every day from clients, from people on Facebook, from just everything. And I just try to keep learning because it's a learning process.
Speaking of getting where you are today, I saw on your page that you had a weight loss journey, you know, in the past of your own where, you know, you had to teach yourself how to bring your weight down, and you did it successfully. Would you mind talking about the details of that? Because that's a struggle for a whole lot of us.
Yeah. I had struggled with this for, a long time. I would say probably, to be honest, I struggled with it from, my daughter's 30, should be 32. So I would say I struggled for about 28 years. And, you know, just going back and forth, I'm going to do right, I'm going to do this. But these are the things that I used to do that stopped me from losing the weight and losing the toxins. This is what I used to do that wasn't right. I used to take X-Lax. I thought that I can eat all I want all day and take X-Lax and, you know, it'll get all out of me. Yeah, I thought I was getting it all out of me. And I would do about 10 sit-ups a day. I was still eating sugar. I was still eating butter. I was still eating all meat. I would eat a lot of salad, and they would have a bunch of croutons on it and a bunch of, dressing, all creamy dressing. All these dressings had all of the number 40 reds, the blues, the yellows, the greens. So I never could lose weight. And I was baking all of my meat. But now what I did was when I learned better, I understood that it was the ingredients in the food that caused me to keep the weight. It was the processed foods. So I cut out everything of color, even white flour, white sugar. I started doing 3 green smoothies a day. I drank 2 gallons of water daily. The only thing that I had, if I wanted like something sweet, it would have to be a sweet fruit.
Right.
It would have to be, I used to love pop, so I transformed from pop just to teas. And I started sweetening my tea with like agave or a little stevia sometimes, or apples and fruits and things like that. I did a lot of raspberry tea, lemongrass, ginger, just to give me a little. I did ginger when I wanted for it to, that pop feeling. I had to have that pop feeling. So since I wanted soda pop or whatever, so the ginger gave me a little spark.
Right.
So I made myself think, oh, this is some good ginger ale. So it's a mind thing too. You have to make yourself believe when you're drinking that ginger tea that this is ginger ale. This is the best ginger ale pop I ever had.
Can I ask you something?
Was
your change, your total health overhaul, was it initiated by maybe like a scare or a serious medical issue?
No, let me tell you what. The reason why I changed when I finally looked at myself in the mirror naked. I said to myself, I am not attracted to you. I know that people say, oh, love who you are, but I'm not attracted to you. I would not want to touch you with this big belly hanging. I would want to touch you with this fat on your back. This is just what I'm thinking. I wasn't attracted to me. I wasn't. So I said, okay, I want to transform my body where I can be attracted to myself. I never took pictures. I never wanted any pictures taken. So I wanted to transform my body into something that I would lust over. So when I started lusting over my own body, I said, now I like this. So then I felt sexy. I felt sexy. I felt like, oh, wow, I like the way my skin is looking. And then I didn't need deodorant anymore. So I loved all these things that was happening to me. And I used to get yeast infections all the time. I mean, back to back to back to back. And I realized that I was getting yeast infections due to the food that I was eating. And not only the food that I was eating, also the medication that I kept running to the doctor to get. So what was happening was the monostat 7 was just laying the yeast dormant. It was just laying it dormant. It wasn't curing anything. But when I started learning how to douche with chlorophyll, apple cider vinegar, and drinking this and drinking, chewing raw garlic, even though a lot of people don't like raw garlic, they say it's acidic to the body. But what I've learned about that is once the Elysian gets inside your body, it turns alkaline. So when I learned that a garlic clove can cure my yeast infection and detox my vagina and detox my body in 48 hours, and I'm cured of the yeast infection, then I'll go with the garlic.
Oh, I'm growing garlic.
So,
okay.
So I don't mind, and I have women to tell me, oh, but your vagina's going to smell like garlic. Okay, you have a choice. Do you want your vagina to smell like garlic for about 2 seconds? Because once you take it out, that's all you smell. Or would you want a sick vagina full of cancerous tumors? Just take your pick.
Do you cut the stuff, or do you put it in, do you peel it and cut it, or how do you insert it?
I peel the garlic. I take it off of the little thing. I peel it. And don't buy it from China, though. No garlic from China.
Right, because they bleach it.
Yes, bleach and ammonia on the inside. And they do that so that it takes the weight off the postage when they deliver it here. So you want organic garlic that comes from, I don't know, California or someplace, just not from China. And you take it and you peel it and you cut each end off and put little holes in it, and you insert it in the vagina area. When you do that, you're going to feel it through your whole body, even your feet. You're gonna feel it going through your lungs, and then just start taking deep breaths. It detoxes your entire vagina, your ovary, anything down there is gonna get rid of. If it's something that you can get rid of.
Okay.
So and then just leave it in. You know, I would say put it in at night around 8 o'clock. Get up in the morning around 7 or whatever time you get up, take it out. And you will be able to see all of the toxins on top of the garlic.
Oh, okay.
And I tell people all the time, so, you know, a lot of women tell me, I didn't like what I saw. So my question to them is always, so you want that, whatever you saw, you want it back up in you?
No, better out.
Or would you want that out? So, yeah, you know, you want it out, just like, you know, and that's why that's one of the reasons, getting back to your question, why I wanted to keep my weight down and everything. And plus, due to my family history, my mom had everything. I mean, just everything. High blood pressure, arthritis, diabetes, gout. My mom has it all. So I don't want to be my mother. And even though the doctors tell me all the time, well, you know, it's family history. No, it's my mother's history, but it's not going to become my history.
Yeah. When you were saying the back-to-back yeast infections, that's one of the signs that it's coming. The diabetes.
Oh yeah. And then sometimes if you know, when you get up in the middle of the night I used to get up in the middle of the night and I used to urinate a lot. All night long. I'm telling you, every 15, 20 minutes. So I said, my mother is trying to come out of this body, but I'm not going to allow it. Mm-hmm. So I just, you know, I changed everything. Even like when my mom come to visit, like when I first started this journey, she come to visit, and I can see in her face that she was totally pissed off. Like she couldn't wait to get back on that plane and leave. Because she would tell me, you got any bacon? Nope. You got any pepper? Mm-hmm. Nope. You know, she said, you got any milk for cereal? No. And she would say, well, what do you have? I said, I have a lot of food. I just don't have what you eat. Mm-hmm. So, you know, her comment is always when she want to lose weight, she comes to Chicago. Because when she comes to my house, she says, when I come to your house, I ain't nothing in your cabinets but seeds. Grass and seeds. So I guess when she wants to get on her little weight loss journey, she come here and then, you know, she'll say, look, I know she's trying to be a little sarcastic, but that's okay. She'll say, yeah, you know, I couldn't fit this dress before I come to visit you. I knew once I stepped foot up in here, I was going to lose all this weight. And I just look at her and I said, you know, so she does it. I feed my mother stuff and she thinks that it's, you know, I gave her a veggie burger I had made out of lentils. And she was just eating it, and she said, give me another one of them burgers. That sure was good. I'm so glad you started back eating meat. This is what she said. I'm so glad you started back eating meat. I said, Mama, that wasn't meat. And then well, what was it? I said, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? You liked it, right? Well, I just need to know what it is, because, you know, I'm not going to put all this garbage in my system. So, wow. Yeah.
So for
you know,
I had a friend that used to drink a 40-ounce a day, right? A day. You hear me? That's what we know about. Okay? Because she used to go in the back of the bodega where, you know, they got the liquor back there and whatever have you. So she tells me, you got to watch it taking all those vitamins and whatnot. You know what I mean? You got to watch it. You got to watch all of that because that's not good for you. I'm like, girl, you have I don't know how many packs of cigarettes, the 40, the everything else, and you lecturing me about me trying to be a vegetarian. That was so fun. People are funny.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like that. It's always like that. It'd be like your big aunts or your unhealthy grandparents who are telling you that you're losing weight too fast, or you too skinny, or, oh, what are you eating? You need to eat some meat. You know, like, what? Why would you tell me that?
Well, you know
like,
what I have, but you know what I have people, I have two people in my family that, you know what, a lot of people in my family don't believe what I'm doing. And the reason why I say that they don't believe is because they are sick and a banana peel away from the grave, but they won't ask me for help. You know, so this is how I know you don't believe. And I have someone in my family now who tells my husband, you know, and this bothers me. You know, we'll go to this family member's house and she'll say, go in there and get you some chicken. And my husband, you know, he'll look at me too. And I'll say, don't you touch it. And so, you know, then he'll say, I don't want that. We don't eat like that no more. And so, you know, I'm sitting back because, you know, now, you know, when people do that to me, my skin starts to boil. And because I know it's a test. And she'll say, well, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He is so skinny. And I say, he's not skinny. He just got rid of all those unwanted toxins, but he's not skinny. And well, you need to give him some meat. Look at his bones. You can see his stomach. But this is a person who's talking to me who has been so far over to see her feet that she will tip over.
Yeah.
You know, and I always tell women this too. This is how you know when you're prone to heart attack and stroke. If you stand straight up and have very good posture, just stand straight up and hold your head down. Don't bend over, but just hold your head down. If you can see the tip of your toes, you're okay, somewhat. But if you have to bend over at any point to bend your back over to see your toes, that means that your stomach is sticking out further than your breast, and you're prone to heart attack or stroke. So this is how, you know, I always tell women, keep up with that. Just when it gets to that point, okay, it's time to detox. It's time to reevaluate some foods. It's time to look in your fridge, get rid of everything white, get rid of all the sugar, get rid of all the canned goods. You just can't, you know, I don't really do canned goods because it's actually sit in the can for probably 10 years before it gets to us. So just imagine what it's doing. All the soup, all the chili, and definitely who I ran across chicken in the can. You know, this just blew my mind. Who in the hell is eating chicken in a can? Chicken in the can.
Whole
a
chicken.
can of chicken? I don't understand that. Those are things that I don't understand. Yeah, I can't understand that. Who wants to eat chicken in a can? Even beef in a can. Beef?
Yeah, it's all in there.
You know. Yeah. So no, I try to do my best to help people heal, and I just try to do my best to get the cells back where they should be. And that's all I can do. I mean, if I reach one, I think I've done a great job. And I just try to, my main purpose is to let people understand you don't have to die dead. And when I say that, what I mean is I don't want to die dead. And that,
I know exactly
that
what you mean.
You know, I want to, when I go, I want to be dancing. Or either I want to be dancing, having sex, or or buying some clothes, or I'm serious because I don't want to be in a nursing home hooked up to all these machines. My family standing around trying to make decisions on should they pull the plug. I don't want to be urinating on myself. I don't want to have feces coming out of my body. I don't want any of that. But when I go, I want my autopsy report to say nothing found. Natural causes. You know, her heart just stopped beating. But, you know, and that's the way I just try to teach people and train people how to not to die dead. You want to die alive, very much alive.
Right.
But a lot of us, we believe that, well, you got to die of something. To me, that's just what Master told you on his plantation.
That's right.
You don't have to die.
That's how they go.
Yeah, you don't have to die of anything. Why we have to die of something? Who says that we have to die of anything, any disease? And, you know, and I truly believe that this is why I know this is why my father's in the position that he's in now. He's getting chemotherapy starting tomorrow, and I don't want it and I don't like it. But I don't have any say so over it because he's still in his right mind.
Right.
But by it spreading the way it has spread it. Now listen to this. I was told from the doctor that this will not cure him. And this will just give him a little, she told me this will just give him a little more time. And this type of cancer that he has will resurface. But we don't know when. But when it resurfaces, it's going to come back with a vengeance. And we will not be giving him chemotherapy again. So the problem I have with that, so basically what you're telling me is that you just want this money, correct?
Right.
See it. That's the way I see it.
And you know, and by my father being 72, he believes that he's going to be cured. He believes that all of this is going to be okay. But if I could get to my father now, I truly believe that I could do some things with him. But he won't drink anything that I give him. He won't eat anything that I give him because my father's mind is so European mind that, and you know, a lot of people say, how could you say them things about your father? But I'm not lying though. This, you know, and I tell my story about my father because I tell people all the time, I am you all. I'm no different. So yes, I may be a vegan. I may be vegan. I may not believe in pharmaceutical drugs, but my father does. So when I tell my story about my father, it's for people to learn from and to be educated on and to understand that, okay, maybe this story about my dad and me telling you all, maybe it can help your father if your father gets it or your mother, your grandmother. Maybe it can help you. But the chemotherapy starting tomorrow, it will surely take my father completely out. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be long because right now his voice is leaving. He's weak. He's in pain. And I know that the chemotherapy, when he gets it, is going to kill off every good little cell that he has left. Then his body will have nothing to fight with. He will have nothing to fight for. And his age is against him. His age. You know, we all know how important our liver is, right? So it has spread it rapidly over his liver. It wasn't even on his liver 3 weeks ago, but now it's completely over the liver. So why chemotherapy?
Right.
You know, it's just the money.
That's what I was going to say, because I'm telling you, I can't cure you. You're going to lose your hair. It's going to attack your body. It's going to do all these things to you, and you're going to line up for that shit. You done looked at everybody who had the chemo. They dead. There's one or two troopers hanging in there. The only people, even when a person is vegan, it's not enough. Because when I went to us there and said, you know, most of the people, they were okay, but a few people, they had that in their genes, and it stayed even though they ate kind of clean. They did breathing. They did yoga. They did all those things. The only group of people I see consistently making it is what I call a Dr. Sabi bunch. I'm talking about people that live their life like it's a detox. Everything that goes in their mouth is pure, and then they still will detox. So I used to do a 4-day fast. They do 20, sometimes more than that. And those are the only people that I see consistently beating, the people that go all out like that, to that level.
Yes.
Those people I see, nobody else. Nobody else.
And you know, and it can be done. It can be done because I know for a fact that I don't care what we have. If we have an itch, a breakout, a sore knee, everything that we have comes from food that we're eating. And your body tells you, hey, what you ate yesterday, you shouldn't eat it anymore. What you ate an hour ago. Your body starts, let's just say, if you have X, Y, and Z for breakfast at 8 a.m., Do you know by noon your body would tell you if it was good for you or not? But you have to pay attention.
Mhm.
You have to pay attention because I'm so in tune with my body, I can actually feel when my food is leaving my stomach and going where it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
So after 4 hours, if I have eaten something that I shouldn't have eaten, it's still in my stomach and I can feel it. And you can also feel it when it's trying to get through the digestive tract. It's trying to get in the colon. It's trying to leave out. So once it gets into my colon and it doesn't come out, then I know I should never have eaten that.
Mhm.
So, we have to, but a lot of people, they're just not in tune with their bodies like that. And I know it's a lot of work, but you have to kind of stay in tune with it. Now, our kids, we can't because we're not in their little bodies. So we can't feel what they feel. So when it comes to our children, we just have to feed them what we would eat.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're eating correctly.
Right.
And you can kind of, and sometimes with your kids, it's good to give them activated charcoal. When you give your child activated charcoal with the meal now, this will let you know how long it's going to take your babies to get rid of the food. So, for instance, if you got like a 2 or 3 year old and you give them breakfast at 7 a.m., by 1 o'clock, the child should be dismissing of all of the breakfast.
Okay.
So you should see that her stools are black. If the stools are black, that means her digestive tract is working the way it's supposed to work. If it's not black, that means that the food that's coming out now is food from days ago, and that's not good.
Right.
So that's how you can kind of tell. And you only have to do it like seasonal. Just do it like winter, spring, summer, and fall. So if you do it tomorrow morning, the stools come out by 1 or 2 o'clock or whatever, and they're black. That's the activated charcoal. So that means your baby is on track. And but if it don't come out black and it comes out just brown, now you got work to do.
Right.
Because now you gotta check every bowel movement to see when the activated charcoal is gonna come out. And so let's just say if you, like I said, you fed her at 7, and you don't see any black activated charcoal till tomorrow morning, that's not good.
Okay.
So we can say.
Go ahead. I want you to finish that point.
Yeah, we can stay on track of how our children bodies are digesting food, and if the food that we gave them is even digestible. We know corn is not that good. So, whatever you give them, if you want to know, is this good for her? Is this good for him? Should I keep giving it to them? Just give them activated charcoal with it. If it comes out on time with the charcoal, then she can digest it. If not, don't give it to her no more.
Oh, okay. That's brilliant.
I got a question. My daughter, she's 2.5. She'll be 3 in April, and she loves fries. And I rarely give her regular potato fries. It's like once in a blue if we're out and about. I might stop at, and this is jacked up, I already know, but I stop at Chick-fil-A because they use peanut oil for their fries. And out of all the evils, I feel like that's the lesser. But when we're home, because I don't bring white potatoes in the house, so when we're home, I buy sweet potatoes, like yams. And she loves those for lunch. And so I'll make them for her as a quick, like, go-to snack if I'm trying to, just trying to hurry up and give something to her. I'll take one out, peel it, cut it up, put it in the oven for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, take it out, and she'll eat it. And I don't really feel like I know I'm not doing the very best for her that I can because, she won't really eat. She's very picky now. She's not really interested in broccoli and, a lot of different, like, diverse things to eat. So what can I give her besides the yams, to kind of...
by her being so little, and she, you know, she is picky right now, but she'll get in on the program as she get older. But right now, I would suggest just keep trying different things, but also keep track on what you know that she likes, because that's important. So keep track on what you know what she likes, and always keep it around so that you can always have it. If it's the sweet potato fries or whatever, if you make them at home, then you want to take them along with you when you get in the car. This would stop you from going to Chick-fil-A, because see, it's not so much of that they're cooking in peanut oil. The problem that I have with places like that is, who in the hell is coughing and sneezing over my fries?
Right.
See, that's my pet peeve. Did she or he wash her hands before you start shaking my fries?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who in there got, and I hate to be so anal, but I am, you know, who in there has nasal drip and then dripped them on my fries?
Oh my God.
Well, you know, but I'm telling you, look, listen. I'm telling you, I just go so deep, but I come deep from reality. You understand what I'm saying? This is all reality. And sometimes we get sick later and we wonder, well, wait a minute, I ain't had nothing but a little fries, I ain't had no meat. It's because somebody who has prepared your food was sick.
Right.
In some type of way. So I would just suggest, like you said, this is not done all the time, which is good, but just try to stay ahead. And right now, whatever foods that she's crazy about, keep giving them to her so that she can still get her good nutrition. And start testing her with different stuff. But when you do it, just make a little bit of it, because you don't want to have to throw it out and she don't like it. So just start testing her with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and give her color, because you know babies love color.
Right.
If it's pink, red, yellow, and green, and it tastes good, she's going to love it.
Right.
And, you know, kids are, most babies her age, they are big on how it feels in their mouth. So if you know she like crunchy, if you know she likes crunchy, soft, or smooth, try to make her foods however she likes them, and in pretty colors. That's it, just pretty colors. And, you know, and just try to cook your stuff at home, and just take her lunch bag out with you wherever you go. If you're going to the mall, if you're going on a little field trip with her, wherever you're going, take her foods with you. Take your her snacks, take her water, take whatever milk you're giving her. Just take her juices that you make, take everything. So when you leave the house with her, you want your bag for her. Her bags look like she's going to be gone about a week. Because you don't know what she's going to want, but you just want to have a little bit of each one of her little things that she likes.
Right.
And just, you know, and just have it with you. And, you know, because right now they don't really ask too much yet to go to fast food restaurants, especially when you're doing the things like what we're doing. We're mostly 90% of the time we're fixing our kids' food at home.
Right.
So just take it out with you and just let that become her natural thing. That's what she does. Because there's a lot of kids out here, they are used to restaurants now. They are used to McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. This is what they're used to on a daily.
Right.
But with our children, because we know better, we're going to get, they're not used to that. They are just not used to that. So since they're not used to it, we're just going to keep it that way. That's all.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's less expensive too. It's less expensive too. Like if you're not.
It's very inexpensive. A lot of people tell me, I don't want to start this with you because it's so expensive doing this your way, but it's not.
Now, Miss Monique, if I wanted to sign on with you as a client, where can I find you, and what are some of the things I can expect? Like, do you take a nutritionist approach, or what's your approach to helping your clients, and where can they find you?
They can always find me on my website, which is MoniqueHealingRoom.com. They can find me on Facebook. as Monique's Healing Room. And then I also have another Facebook page, Monique's Healing Room number 2. And they can find me on Virtuous Colorful Women Clothing Store. That's my business. And and they can find me also at Monique's Natural Hair Salon. But I have a lot of stuff going on, trust me. I didn't tell you guys. I didn't even tell you guys about the Virtuous Colorful Women Clothing Store, but this spring it will be a boutique on wheels. Ooh. And I started this also because a lot of our women, our sickness comes from when we don't look good and feel good. It really does. So a lot of us, we're working hard. We're single moms, and even if you're not a single mom, sometimes you don't have money to dress like the other girls in the office, right? So what I'm doing is I have this Virtuous Colorful Women Clothing Store for women who want to look good and feel good, but on a budget. So what I started doing, I started asking for a lot of great donations, very good clothes in good mint condition, and I have the Virtuous Colorful Women Clothing Store because nothing will cost you over like $15. So you'll be able to get you'll be able to get a good outfit. Let's just say if you have an interview to go to tomorrow morning, but you don't have money, you'll be able to come to me and get a whole outfit, a suit, pantyhose, shoes, coat, everything for maybe the whole outfit for about $40 or $50.
I like
and because a lot of us, we missed out on jobs because I don't have a suit to wear, but it was a good job. I didn't have clothes to wear, and it's true. And, we have to, in order to keep our health right, we have to look good on a budget. So that's what, and then what I do with that money, I take that money and I put it back in the business of Monique's Healing Room to buy more products, to get more regimens. And I also started Virtuous Colorful Women because I don't want to go up on my prices, but I want everyone to be able to get my regimens and be able to have consultations with me and things like that. So I don't want to go up on my prices. I always want to be I want my prices to be affordable so that our women can get them. And believe it or not, sometimes when women tell me, well, I can't afford it, I just do it for free. Because it's not about money with me. Because, I have the money. I'm paying my bills. I'm not rich, but it's not about money. It's just that I want women's bodies to be healed. I want your babies' bodies to be healed. And I always start with the woman because the woman is the queen of the house. She runs the house. So if mommy is well, everybody's well. Because when mommy gets sick, the house just goes crazy. Nobody can find nothing. Nobody can do nothing. So it's true. If I can keep mommy well and looking good and feeling good, now she's well and she's happy, now the household will be ran correctly and everybody can be well.
Right.
So, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. 3 or 4 businesses I'm trying to run alone.
Yes, I think that is a phenomenal example for sisters to follow, and I was just talking to Sister Da'ank earlier about how me and my husband run multiple businesses from home as well. And, the best position that we can be in is to have the freedom to own our time and express ourselves creatively. And so for women or men and people in general who think that, women who stay at home and don't clock in for work, we work just as hard, if not harder, because we have to run these businesses. So, it is the best option, I believe, for sisters to be able to stay home so that they can exercise their creativity and and make money for the household in our own creative ways. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. It means a lot. I learned so much from you.
Oh, I hope you did. I appreciate you for asking.
Yes, ma'am. And hopefully we can have you back on soon. Anytime you have a program or an event coming up, whenever you're about to launch the mobile shop, let us know so we can have you back on and promote it.
Okay, just anytime you need me, I'm always here. No big deal.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say something too. I want to say thank you for being here. I know you holding the whole world up right now. I know you doing it because you got family that's not in line with what you're saying. Your father, so many things are going on. But I just wanted to say something tells me that they admire and respect you. They might not act like it because they don't necessarily have the discipline to engage in your life. But sometimes you never know. People see you and they see you being consistent and strong, and it means more to them than you think. And I think your people are very proud of you. They don't want you pulling them into this lifestyle they're not ready for.
Right.
And I want to thank you for giving us so many tips on this show. You gave us a lot of things that I don't hear everywhere, like with autism and with the other things you were saying. There were aspects of weight loss that people, they usually just scold you, but they don't say, well, how do you get your mind? You know, how do you get around the cravings? They don't delve into all those things. They just scold you for being fat and for eating. And you go so deeply into it, you know, and your childhood is remarkable. And I just want to say I'm so glad that I met you. You know, I want to keep in touch with you. You know, it's really,
please do. Please do. I mean, anything that you guys need, I'm here. It's no problem.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Peace.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.